time for a video again. I had thought of it nearly every day, at least 4 or 5 times a week lately, in the last weeks and month. But then I really had the conclusion that I need the space to do it, and I need a real impulse to do it, and it needs to feel right. And this is the case now. I'm in my car again, having quite of a long drive, and I have the possibility, to upload a video, which also helps me to create clarity for myself. So I'm thankful to have the time and the possibility to do that. I wanted to talk about challenges, why they come into your life and how to cope with them. Obviously, because it's something that has been going on with me for the something that I created, that's something that that was in my life lately in the last 2 weeks, I would say. I mean, pretty much since 9 months I had challenges, bigger challenges, but then personal challenges, personal difficulties were in an unusual amount came up to me the last 2 weeks. And so I wanted to take the chance to talk a bit about this. First of all, I don't even think this is a problem. Try to get the background knowledge about something. So it's hard for me not to ask why is this happening, and I don't think this is generally a mistake if it does not prevent you from living or from coping with it. So understanding life better is not an issue, I would say, as long as it, as I said, doesn't prevent you from living it. And I had 2 thoughts or 2 possibilities of how it is possible that an unusual amount of challenges come into your life from one day to another. I think it might reflect a time or a period of time or times in which you had an unusual big amount of negative thinking and negative thoughts. For me it was I usually don't drink and don't do any drugs, but then I was drinking in the beginning of the year one day, and after this I felt really bad for 2-3 days, and I know that, for example, there I might have created a lot of negativity that was mirrored to myself now. And generally what I try to do is to have a structure. I talked in another video about habits. I think habits are the most important. Healthy habits are the most important thing for fulfilled, happy and life in your full potential. And I create habits to have a journal for the morning and for the night. I spend about probably half an hour to 45 minutes a day just journaling, reflecting and so on, and they're putting positive energy out for me in my life. But still in the day-to-day life it is always possible to get into to not be that that controlled, and there is always a possibility of having problems and creating negative thinking and having negative thinking, which then might create in this case challenging situations. And this is what it is. Of course we can always try to better ourselves and to optimize ourselves. I don't like that word, but it is the truth. It is the right word. But I feel like whatever. Everything is okay. Everything can be as it is. But then it's also a lot of pressure to say, I have never understood those people that say, you cannot be in a negative energy. You can never think negative. This is like, we're not superhumans. Especially if you live in the best, and if you're living your mission and you have a vision and you want to succeed and you want to be out there, it's very, very hard to have the pressure of always thinking positive and never have a bad thought and never be in a bad mood or bad energy. And I think it's even a bit unauthentic. Like if you're in a bad mood, you're in a bad mood. Yeah, it's better to try and be in a good mood, but it's not always possible. But then still create habits that make you think as positive as possible and be in a energy as positive as possible. And yeah, try not to once you get a flow and once you get a sort of a momentum, try not to destroy it like I did, like when I was drinking or something. Yeah. And the other thing which I go a bit more in, with which I resonate a bit more even, but I think both things are true, and big real truth is always hard to grab for us as in our human experience, but everything is everything, I always say. Is that sometimes you just have karmic moments, yeah, where growth is asked from you, and your soul wants to grow, and your soul creates moments for you to grow, and those will be shown in times of challenges and times of an unusual big amount of challenges. So sometimes I think certain things are, no matter how positive you think, might not be possible to change. So yes, those are the two conclusions of which why is happening now. How do you cope with it, or how do I cope with it? I generally, which is not even easy, try to not go into the drama. So I try to not get all emotional about it, but I also I'm not pretending like, wow, great, there's a challenge, I'm always happy about it. Sometimes I call a friend. For me it helps a lot to call guys friends, because they sometimes just, for men sometimes it's necessary to talk certain things about men, because especially my problems, they are mostly in the field of organization and being very, very much behind everything. And I feel like girls, they have a more, or women, the female energy has a much more playful way of dealing with those things than men, who are always often stuck in their mission. And then when there happens a second organizational big thing to do, sometimes it's like exhausting, and it doesn't matter. Sometimes it's just good to talk to a guy or a girl who knows the experience and who knows you and might find the right words. And I feel like even if the challenges are very annoying and very big, it helps not to panic. It helps even to be angry and to talk about it angry-ish now and then, to let it out. But then it's not always good, especially if it's a conflicting situation with another person or something, to go into reactivity mode. So sometimes if you don't know what's the right thing to do, if you have an argument with someone, or someone you feel like is treating you wrongly, but you have no idea of how to cope with it yet, just take a step back and let life unfold itself. And once if you are connected to yourself, to your intuition, to your soul energy, the right move for you and the rightful move of the energy of love will come to you. And yes, I feel like it never helps to panic, no matter what situation. And that's pretty much what I learned. Of course, there are certain challenges where you need to heal something, then do that and take the time for you. And sometimes it's just about fully structuring your life in a new way to create a different and more suitable future for you. I hope that I got everything. Okay. What I actually meant to tell you. I wish you a great day. Goodbye.